What's up, guys? Back again with another video with the Genesis. It's been a while since I actually posted a video on the car. I've been busy with working. I actually made 2 other videos on another SD card, but I somehow lost the SD card. So I'm still trying to find that. So I'm trying not to give too much away until I can actually find the SD card. But so far, what you guys are up to date on is I put the wheels on. They're the ESR SR ones. They're really not bad, honestly. For like a good starter wheel, I wanted the work VSXs, but for right now these will be fine. It shows the Brembo's nice. The fronts are going to be a 19 by 9.5 with the 22 offset, and the tires I'm running with them currently are a 245/40/19. I have no rub. Definitely enough space in between everything, so that's always good. Besides that, you already seen the fact that I got it tinted. It's at 20% all the way around. In the back here, we got the same setup, 19, except width is going to be a little bit different. We got the 19 by 10.5s. There's a little bit more of a lip onto it. And these ones, the back tires I'm running on this is a 275/40/19. It is a little bit bigger. I wish I would have went down with a 35 series sidewall to actually kind of tuck it down a little bit, because at this rate, I have springs for it, but the springs are going to drop it too low and it's going to start to chew into the tire. So I'll end up running probably coils, but for now, this is what I'm working with, guys. That stock ride height though, whole hand worth. But new stuff that I did get was I did actually get a catback for it, which is going to be the ISR race exhaust. Pop up underneath here, see it. Pretty much all it really is honestly a straight pipe. It did come with the burnt tips though, which I actually really like. They got their little brand underneath of it. It's kind of cool, it goes all the way up. You have that little resonator like right up there, and then it goes into the secondary cats. So I'm still running the stock cats and stock secondary cats, so I didn't go with test pipes or anything like that yet. But it is definitely pretty loud. I just really like the burnt tips. It is a little odd how the inside tip is bigger than the outside. Mainly that was meant for if you want to run a diffuser, you can, because like a lot of them with like the CNT V3 tips, apparently it fills it up too much on the ends, and you have to end up cutting into either the rear lip or rear diffuser. But besides that though, still going good. I need to take it in, get the wing painted, because as you can see the wing's pretty faded out. So I'm taking that in to get painted. Also the front bumper, I had a rock chip and I was spraying it with the pressure washer, and I guess it decided to lift some paint off of it with it. So that's gonna have to get painted too. So along with me putting stuff into it, I'm having stuff happen to it. Like the wing was already like that. That was fine. That's only about 200, 250 to get it paint matched to the AF paint code for the Black Nor Pearl. But here you go. Let's check it out. Big chunk. I mean, it was a small one, but every time I hit the car wash now, it just keeps on chipping back. It looks like we got a little bit more of a bubble going on too, but it's fine though. I wanted to get it repainted anyways because of all the rock chips in it. But so I mean, the rock chips I could have waited on though, but that looks rough. And then we already got the badges in, the wing badges for the Genesis. Now, in the future, I'm going to plan on running slotted and drilled rotors so you can see them through the actual rims themselves. Probably, like I said, drop down to a 35 series sidewall. That way I can maybe run a little bit of a stretch so I can drop it. But also, so I haven't done anything in here yet. I do want to run some carbon stuff, like carbon around the shifter, carbon whole dash panel, around the radio, maybe vents. But I keep seeing a lot of overlays and I don't really see any actual carbon pieces. And then I see a bunch of people selling them wrapped, and I'm just like, I can wrap it if I really wanted to. I'm not trying to wrap it. And I was looking at the SoCal Garage carbon fiber flat bottom steering wheel too, that has the this plate. You have to buy extra. That comes in carbon. Just small stuff like that. I do like the seats, so I'll probably keep them because I like the heated seat function on them. But I was thinking about a competition clutch stage 2, but I don't really need that yet because I'm pretty stock for the most part, and I'm not even tuned yet. So, but I'll show you guys the stuff that I didn't fill you guys in on, which is on the card, which it won't really matter if I show you because it's pretty much installing. So we got, this was all stock last time, so now we have the full HBS silicone radiator hoses plus heater hose kit. So we have the top, the upper and lower, you probably won't see it but it's way down there, the lower radiator hoses in red for all silicone. Then we have a couple of the heater hoses going up, that's all HBS. And then up underneath here you can see it, HBS, and then up around the sides and back. So we got the back that goes into the firewall for the heater, and then we got one down here. It does kind of suck because I am missing one. So right here there's a black one, so I actually emailed them and asked them about getting just a hose about that length, because there's no aggressive bends in it, it's just a steady bend. So if I get one probably about an inch longer than what the actual length of that is, it'll actually bend with it. That way it's not a straight 90-degree turn, so it won't affect flow much. And then we have the InGen SP series intake, which it's not bad. The black that it comes in is like almost like a sparkly black, so it almost matches the paint too, so that's nice. And then so with that, I'm running the P2R throttle body spacer with thermal gaskets, which wasn't too bad overall. Out of all the money I spent, so this is about $250. Got about 140 right here for the spacer and thermal gaskets with it. The hoses from HPS, which is a whole kit. It's the upper and lower radiator hoses plus heater hose kit. That's about $190. And then we have the whole ISR race exhaust, which is going to be from about, you can cut it right about here. So right about here back, that's going to be the ISR race exhaust. That was about 800 bucks for that. Well, 8, 9, depending on where you get it from. I've seen them cheaper, but I know like Injunku Racing, they have a crazy back order going on. And then you have GC Tuner and like 3.8 Performance, they probably have it. But that's pretty much all that's really done to it for right now. I'm actually going to make a secondary video too of like how the ISR race exhaust sounds. That way we can actually get that, get a rough idea, because I never made a video for installing the hoses because there was just too much going on with it. I mean, it was easy, but for the most part you're fighting with hoses that are stuck in place. The intake, that I made a video on the intake and I made a video on the throttle body. Once I had both of those off, I actually went ahead and cleaned out the throttle body as well, which is pretty carboned up. So that's probably, I would definitely take that as a hint if you do go to get the spacer. Since this is already going to be off, go ahead and clean it out while you're there. Just use some electronics cleaner, that way it doesn't mess up the back sensor, or something along that line. Maybe alcohol on a rag, and try to like wipe off some of that carbon away from the butterfly, or the throttle plate, whichever you want to call it. But that's pretty much it. And the fitment for the intake, once you're running that spacer, it's pretty close. As you can see, it's like right up, it's almost right against the washer fluid bottle, so keep that in mind. You are going to have to keep the bolt off of the intake sensor, because that's going to transfer over. And then you got the tube leading over from the valve cover. Check that. Mine was a little bit oily, not too bad. A lot of good things to do is like run like a catch can or something like that along those lines. And once you delete out the stock air box, you actually have a mount right here. I mean, that's stuck to the strut tower, but you could probably utilize that for like a catch can down there, maybe a slim catch can. But overall, that's pretty much it for what I've done to it so far. Next, I'm going to be pretty much taking care of other things, like got the oil changed, even though that's not really a mod, but because like I said, I've only had this car for 2 months, so I'm jumping into it pretty deep, buying all this stuff within 2 months. I mean, it's over, so we got 250, comes around up to like 140, so we got 390. Yeah, we're almost $2 grand in. And then front bumper and spoiler. The front bumper is going to be about $400, $450 to get it repainted for a paint match, all that. And then the rear is about $250 for the spoiler, so almost another $700 right there for paint on that. I do actually want to get the lower intake riser spacer as well. But I heard once you do that, you lose the cover. I'm kind of liking the cover, even though there's not much going on with it. It's just a chunk of plastic with foam underneath of it. I kind of like the cover just for like an aesthetics look. But you know, that'll all come into play eventually. But just wanted to give you guys an update on what the Genesis is sitting at. Also, one thing I forgot that I just put on this morning was the Megan Racing transmission mount. That actually did make an improvement a lot. I mean, I know a lot of people say it, like on forums and Facebook groups, so on. But if you are looking to try to get rid of a lot of that notchiness out of the transmission and maybe a little bit of that second gear lockout, or maybe fifth and sixth gear grind when you're on like highway cruising and it just starts to grind when you go from fifth to sixth or fourth to fifth, I would definitely look into that transmission mount, because it definitely stiffens things up. If you take off that bottom little like frame collar thing that's wrapped around the transmission mount, so to speak, you can just take it and you can just wiggle it. You'll see how bad that is compared to the Megan Racing one. It does stiffen it up. You do feel a little bit more vibration, but honestly, it's not that bad. For the pros versus cons on that, have a little bit of vibrations versus the transmission feel is like just crazy improved just by a little piece of rubber. I would definitely go for it. I bought it for like $90, so $90 definitely well worth it for sure. And then if you want to, you can jump into the other things such as the different transmission fluid and so on and so forth, shifter bushing, short shifter, you know, the list goes on. But for an $80-$90 part, just straight out of the box, you literally unbolt 4 bolts, unbolt 4 more bolts, and then unbolt the transmission mount itself, which is 4 more bolts. Something simple like that, that would definitely take it for sure, hands down. But that's gonna be it for this video, guys. I'm getting ready to actually head back home, do some stuff. But hopefully you liked the video. If you have any questions on the parts or how it was to install them, because I did put the ISR cap back on, super easy. Honestly, the worst thing you'd have to worry about is taking off the top bolts. They're 19mm bolts off of the top side of the secondary cats, because it's a tight spot to get to and it sucks. But besides that, it's all free flowing. But if you like this video, go ahead and leave a like. If you want to see more videos pertaining to Genesis, because there's a lot more to come, go ahead and smash the subscribe button down there. And like always, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.